April 24th, 2021, and I'm back in the food plot that I started last year, and I'm continuously trying to improve it. And what I've got today is I've got 11 apple trees. I think for sure I'll put 10 in here. I'm not sure if the whole 11 are going to go in here, but I'm going to be planting those. And one of the things with this sandy soil, it is a little bit of a challenge, but I do have the ability to water them, but I'm trying to get them off to a good start. So I am going to be mixing up a little bit of root dip. And what I have here, this is called Soil Moist Root Dip Endo Ecto. So what this helps do is provide some fungi, and it can help gather nutrients and water with the roots. And so I'll be adding a little bit of that. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of this material, which I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but basically it will expand in the water, hold the water, and so I'll put a little bit of this, I'll mix them together and get those on the apple tree roots, just so that they can start off life a little easy. So we'll just mix a little bit of this, and it doesn't really need much. It says 3 ounces. We'll do up to 300 seedlings, so this whole container would do 1,200 seedlings, but these aren't seedlings either, so we'll just eyeball a little bit. Now with this stuff, it does expire, and this stuff's set to expire here in the end of July, so might as well use it up. And I'll just kind of, no shortage of sticks, I'll just kind of get that in the water and then add a little bit of moisture trap. And it doesn't have to coat every root, but by getting this stuff in the soil here, it is going to help out. So we have a little bit of a globular paste here. So I'll just be able to get a little of that on the roots, and we'll get them planted. One benefit of sandy soil, does make the digging a whole lot easier. Now, generally you want the hole bigger than what you're burying, obviously, and it's not a bad idea to loosen up the soil around it. With sandy soil, though, it's not quite the issue. And you have to be careful when you bury these, because these are grafted trees, and you might be able to tell there's a knob here, okay? And then it changes shape up here. So this top is actually a different apple variety than the root system. So I don't want that buried. Obviously I need to bury it, to the root level here, but I don't want that part actually buried. So what I'm doing with these fence posts is instead of putting them straight up, I'm running them at a little bit of an angle. And the idea of it is the fencing's not going to go all the way to the bottom. So it's kind of like a funnel. If an apple falls, the deer still will be able to get at the apple because the fence is going to be up from the bottom. And that being said, with it being angled out, it's going to push these deer, the top fence line will be here. It's going to keep them a little farther away from the tree. And we'll get a tube on it, and that'll protect it from the rodents. We'll eventually get some landscape fabric on it, and we'll get it mulched. But I'm not going to get to that part of that today. So we just want to get them protected, and we'll fight the weeds here in another week or two. So the apple trees are planted, and the ones I planted here, chestnut, crabapple, I got multiple ones of those, well, multiple of each of these, but frostbite, prairie magic, Haralson, and with the chestnut crabapples, they generally flower for a longer period of time so they can cross-pollinate, because the Haralson is a little bit later as far as flowering, but the other ones are all mid. And so they're all going to have apples that are going to be produced during hunting season, and that's what I'm looking for. I could have some apple trees out here as well before deer season, but that are going to have apples on the ground before that to start establishing a pattern. But I don't think I really need that, and I'm more focused on, something that's going to hold their fruit a little bit longer. Now with these trees, I still need to mulch and throw some landscape fabric down. But the first year I'm not going to fertilize them, and then next year they'll get some fertilizer. They're calling for rain tonight and the next couple days actually, so I think they're going to establish real well here, along with the root dip that I put on them to help hold a little more moisture as well. So we will follow up with these in the future, but I think they should do well here. They get full sun, and they're protected from the deer for them browsing them. But now it's up to Mother Nature. And I do have the ability, if I need to water them in the future.